Hi, Stitchy Friends. I'm Sarah. You'll notice I'm by myself today. Jen's out of town. We had some scheduling conflicts. So I wanted to make sure I got a video posted in the meantime because I'm heading out of town myself for the holidays. So anyway, today is November 19th. This is Flosstube episode 44, and I've got a special treat for you guys today. I wanted to come on here and do a Christmas themed video because I've been pulling out all of my Christmas decorations and seeing all the things I've stitched in the past. And so I thought today was a great day to do a special edition Flosstube of Christmas finishes, whips, and kits to inspire you and put you in the Christmas spirit if you're not already. And maybe you'll see something that you just have to add to your stash and you want to stitch up immediately. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, I have been pulling out my Christmas decorations. I keep all of my Christmas finishes, my stitchy Christmas finishes in my Christmas decoration bins, and just pulling all of them out has been really, really fun. I know I've showed almost all of these in the past before. I do like to pull out my old finishes and show them. So, but I didn't think you guys would mind seeing them again. So anyway, and if you don't want to see them, that's okay. You could fast forward until I get to my whips and kits. But I wanted to start with my two of my most recent finishes that you haven't seen yet. And the first one is Wee Santa. Yes. So as you know, Jen and I hosted a stitch along of the Wee Santa 2023 designed by Heart and Hand, and with the goal of finishing it on this board from Chantel's 141 design. We were supposed to do a video and we've just had some scheduling conflicts. I truly apologize to anybody who was looking forward to that. It just didn't quite work out, and we did want to get ours finished so we would have something to show. So I can just kind of briefly talk about what I did here. So the board is the plain bender board from Chantel's 141 Design Company. I had stained mine using the Tattered Angels, sorry, Daisy's kind of bumping the table here. I used the Tattered Angels color wash tint from Hobby Lobby in the color, I want to say pewter. And I finished it off with a finishing cream from the Real Milk Company. But you could use any stain that you like, or you could paint yours if you wanted to do something similar. But I think it turned out really nice. I even stained the back as well. So I stained it, I used the finishing cream, and then as far as the stitching, so I stitched this on a piece of 40 count fabric. I don't remember what the fabric was right now. I know I've said it in my past videos. So I mounted the stitching on a piece of mat board with some batting, some quilt batting behind it to give it a little depth. Also, you can see I was able to get the beads on there too. And I talked in our last video about how I changed up the colors. I liked the red, gold, and green color scheme for my Santa, so that's what I went with. I mounted it on another piece of mat board that was just covered with some green plaid fabric that I had in my stash, and I had some rickrack trim in my stash as well that I thought looked nice behind it. And the bow, I found this bow in my stash of Christmas ribbon. I think it was probably a bow that came on a gift from my mom, and I repurposed it and used it for my finish. And I stitched this flower here on a little scrap of fabric and made a fabric covered button. I got the little button kit from Hobby Lobby. It was pretty inexpensive and it was really easy to do. There's directions on the back and it was very, very simple. And I am very pleased with my finish. I think it turned out really cute, and I've been dying to put this out, so I'm glad to finally show it to you guys so that it can be part of my Christmas display this year. But I think I'll give you guys a little close up here. I think it just turned out adorable. And Chantel's boards are just so nice, such wonderful quality. I was glad to have this piece to finish it on, but you know, I've been seeing some finishes. Some people are turning theirs into a little pillow. They're turning it into an ornament. So many fun finishes you could do with this little guy. So that's my wee Santa. I love it. Okay. All right. This next one is a finish. Let me pull out the chart first. Hold on. So this next one came from this booklet here, this pattern called Welcome to the North Pole, and from Primrose Cottage Stitches. I did not want to stitch the whole thing. I wanted to pull out some elements to do as little ornaments. So I decided I wanted to stitch Mr. and Mrs. Claus down here and turn them into an ornament. So I did. So there they are. There's my little finish. I stitched this on, it is a Fox and Rabbit. I think it's the color River Gum. It's either River Gum or Elephant Run in a 40 count. And I stitched them up just using the called for DMCs. It does have some stitched snowflakes around, but I wanted to give it a little dimension. So I had these little buttons that I had gotten from 123 Stitch from just another button company. And I just thought they were adorable and gave it a little dimension. So I just sewed those right on there. Just did a round finish inside of this little tart tin I got in a pack. I think it was a pack of like 4 or 6 from Fat Quarter Shop. They fit perfectly in there. The only thing I think I'm going to change is I think I might take the twine off and use like a ribbon to hang it, make it a little prettier. But that's my little finish. That's going to go right on the tree. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So those are some recent finishes. Now, if you don't mind, sorry, I'm just trying to put that pattern back in the bag there where it belongs. Now, if you don't mind, I would love to show you some finishes from Christmas past. And again, you've probably seen all these, so if you don't want to see them again, feel free to fast forward. But if you'd love to see them again, stick around. Okay, so this one actually is it's a recent finish. I stitched this piece last winter, but I didn't finish it until like a couple months ago. And I know I've shown this recently, but here it is again. So this pattern is from Mrs. AZ Family Zoo. She's on Etsy as AZ Family Zoo. I've talked about her a lot. She is a designer. She is a Flosstuber. She has an animal sanctuary at her home. And all of her charts, when you purchase them or anything from her Etsy shop, all of the proceeds go to support the animals and take care of the animals at her animal sanctuary. And she's got this adorable series in her shop called the Squared series. And this is Merry Sweet Squared. It was a very quick stitch. I stitched it on this turquoise fabric and mounted it on this board and easel that I got. I think I got this in Chantel's Mystery Make-Along ornament box last year. I'm pretty sure that's where I got it from. And just mounted it on a piece of fabric board and put a little bow and voila, adorable little finish. Can't wait to put that out too. Let's see. Sorry. I know I showed this recently too. This was also a recent finish. This is Whale Hello There from Hands On Design. It's from her Polar Plunge series. And I have the rest of her charts. There's other charts. There's a polar bear, there's penguins and puffins. I know there's a walrus, other creatures. And I also bought the pack of these boards. Again, these are from Chantel. Very cute little boards, easy finish. And I'm going to stitch the rest of those. I have them all kitted up. In fact, I have them, like I said, I have them kitted up, so I'll show them to you here shortly. But that's my finish, and I can't wait to stick that on my tree. So cute. Okay. This is not a fully finished. It's the only thing I've stitched, only Christmas thing I've stitched that has not been fully finished. So my goal is to get this fully finished very soon. I stitched this last year. This is a Brenda Gervais. I forget what the pattern's called, but it's from With Thy Needle and Thread, and I stitched him up last year and just trying to think of a finish for him. So once I figure that out, I'll get him fully finished. Okay, so Christmas past. I've got several things sitting in front of me here. This was from the Stitching Book Club. You can find that on Etsy. She had several patterns that went along with books that we read and discussed as we were stitching, and this was from the Christmas Carol. She had a different finish for this, but I made mine into a pillow. This might have been my very first pillow finish. I stitched this on probably 14 count Aida, and instead of doing all of the French knots, I think there were like 40 French knots, I did beads. So I think that turned out just adorable. And it's got the little quote from A Christmas Carol says, "I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year." I love the Christmas Carol. In fact, I love the Muppet Christmas Carol. That's my favorite rendition. So I'll be watching that soon. I watch it every year. So I love that. Okay. Another finish I have sitting here is, this was from Hands On Design a couple years ago. This was the Cookie Exchange Sal, and this was really, really fun. So Kathy organized this Sal. She designed this piece to stitch up in parts. So it was a mystery Sal, so we just got pieces of it to stitch along the way, and this was the finished piece. This was the board that that she did hers on. Trying to remember where it came from. I don't quite remember. It was an Etsy shop, but yeah, I purchased like the whole kit, the fabric, the rickrack from Lady Dot Creates, and made this adorable little finish. So very cute. Oh, I love this one. So this was another stitch along. This was, it's a little needs to be fluffed out a little bit from being in the bin, but this was the Frosted Pumpkin stitch along the Christmas wreath. This was a few years ago, I believe, and that was just so fun to stitch. It was my very, very first ever pillow finish, excuse me, and I think it turned out pretty good. I think I needed to make it a little bit bigger, but yeah, that's my finish. I think it turned out super cute. I love putting this out. And I always tell my family, just because it's a pillow doesn't mean you touch it. It's for looks only. Don't put your head on this. I love that it's got these little buttons on here from Just Another Button Company. And I just love all the little details as you go through. My friend Sally had done red glasses on her Mrs. Claus, so I copied her and put red glasses on my Mrs. Claus too. And I love Santa upside down there in the chimney. I love that one. I did buy the pattern for the Halloween wreath that the Frosted Pumpkin did, but I never started it yet. So maybe next year, because I'd love to have a Halloween pillow too. All right, this was a more recent finish. This is Santa Strips by Barbara Anna, and I stitched that on 40 count. I want to say Egyptian Sand by Mountain Air Fabrics, but I could be wrong. And I just used all the called for DMC, and I think it turned out perfect. I just popped it in this frame thing that I got from Hobby Lobby. It was one of those things that, you know, that has the words on it or whatever. I just covered that up, put a ribbon around the edges, and a little button up top there, a little poinsettia, and I just think this is so pretty. I can't wait to put this out. This was not done last Christmas, so this will be my first year displaying it. So that's gonna be fun. Oh, this is a big one. Oh, this is a couple years ago. This was a stitch along from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. It was the Nutcracker stitch along. I had so much fun stitching this. I believe this is on a 32 count fabric. It's the blue with like the white dots to make it look like it's snowing. I forget what kind of fabric that is, but I thought it turned out so cute. I love the Nutcracker. I collect Nutcrackers, and so anything Nutcracker, I just have to stitch it. It's just beautiful. So I love that one. I love them all. What am I saying? Really, there's nothing here that I stitched that I don't love. This is a Frosted Pumpkin that I stitched I want to say like in 2020 maybe. I stitched this on the Sparkle Ada. It's got like the opalescent. There you go. You can see the sparkle a little bit. I love that border there, the white border. You've got like snowmen and reindeer. I just think it's so pretty. And then of course in each little square here you have all the letters that spell Christmas. Just a very fun, adorable stitch. I'm pretty sure this is all in DMC as well. Okay, I stitched this one a couple years ago. This is from Cherry Hill Stitchery, I believe. The Holly Jolly Hot Cocoa Bar, Have a Cup of Cheer. I found this little frame thing from Hobby Lobby. I think it says something like sewing room or something on it, and I just covered that up and plopped this in here, and it was the perfect fit. And I just think the border of the frame is really fun. So, I believe the red that I used here was Turkish red. I love the variegation in that. Okay, moving right along. I stitched this one a long time ago too. This was 2020. I guess that's not a long time ago, but 2020, I put it in this frame. I'll Be Home for Christmas. I want to say this was Wild Violet. And I just loved the whole snow globe idea. I stitched this on Ada. Very pretty. I don't know if I love it in this frame. I might try to think of a different finish for it, but for now, that's where it's at. Okay, a few more. All right, I think I stitched this one in 2020 as well. So this is another frosted pumpkin, milk cookies and Christmas goodies. I dyed that pink fabric myself and added the little chocolate chip cookie buttons from Just Another Button Company, and just made it into this little block, and it's just so cute and fun to sit on my shelf. I love pink and Christmas decorations. I'm seeing so many pinks and like turquoise and teals in Christmas decorations, and I'm loving it, loving it. Okay, a few more. This one's been up quite a while. I think I stitched this, I want to say like 2018, 2019, and I just did this funky finish. I had this frame that I think I got from a consignment store, and I covered the back with some fabric, layered some ribbon, glued on some buttons, glued on a reindeer there, because why not? And this was a pattern, I believe, from Stitch Rovia. I think you can get it on Etsy. And I just think this is a really fun finish. I love that. Gotta have the reindeer, and I love how he's just kind of like stuck up there like he's flying. That's a fun finish. Okay, this was a 2021. Had to commemorate the year of COVID by stitching a gingerbread man with a mask on. Hopefully we never have to do that again. But just wanted to commemorate that crazy year. That's a fun one. This was a little freebie from Liz Matthews a couple years ago, and I stitched it up on a tiny piece of fabric and plopped it on this little frame that I got from like Michael's, I think. And yep, cute little finish to sit out. I stitched this last year. This is Mouse's Christmas from Tiny Modernist. I turned it into an ornament. I think I used all the called for floss because it looks like there's some variegation in the mouse's dress. And I think that just turned out adorable. Just made it into this like flat fold ornament type deal. And I'm gonna hang that back on my tree. Got these little beads here from Amazon. I got like a bag of them, different Christmas colored beads. Those are always fun to add to your finishes. And this one here is not Christmas. It's a winter stitch, and I had finished this last year. This is a pattern from the Blue Flower called Winter Blooms, and I just think that's so beautiful. It says, bloom amidst the winter's snow. I finished that up last winter, and I was able to display it for a little bit, so I can't wait to put it back out again this year. I just think that's so pretty. I love those winter snowy colors. I love it. I think I stitched this on Pearl from Fiber on a Whim. I could be wrong. And this was just an unfinished wood piece from Hobby Lobby. It has the wood pile thing on here. So I just spray painted it white, did a little bit of distressing, and that's my finish there. My final finishes here. Now these are old. I stitched these 25, 23, and 20 years ago because they are my children's Christmas stockings. So, and I put them out every single year. My kids love coming over and seeing that they're out. The only child that I have that lives at home is my son. He commutes to school. My daughters don't live at home anymore, but they love when they come home for Christmas and see these out. So this first one is for my daughter, Kendall. She's my oldest. She's 25, so I made this 25 years ago. I think it was just like a kit that I got at the craft store. Very cute. And then my daughter, Maggie, her name is Magdalene. Stitched her up some angels too, so they both have angel stockings. So this one's 23 years old. Don't ask me how I was able to stitch a stocking when my kids were babies, but apparently I made it happen. And then finally, my son Jude, his name is Judea. He is 20 years old, so I stitched this 20 years ago. I just think it's so cute with those little woodland animals and the Santa and the snowman. And my mom fully finished these for me because I did not have any sewing skills back in the day, and she turned these into stockings. So I did the stitching, my mom did the finishing. So thank you, Mom. Apparently you did a good job because they're still holding up all these years later. Very cute. So those are my Christmas finishes. I'm looking forward to adding some more Christmas finishes to my display this year. So how about I show you what I've been stitching? So the next portion is going to be a whip/kit parade. I should have separated them, but I didn't. I just kind of grabbed all my Christmas project bags and brought them over. So as we're going through, some have been started, some have not been started, and I'm just going to show them all to you. Whether they have a good amount of work on them or teeny tiny start or no start, I'm just going to show everything. So make sure you grab a pencil, pen, piece of paper in case you want to write any of these things down. So let's start with, I'm just going to grab randomly. This one is in a project bag from my mom, Painted Leaf Co. on Etsy. And inside I have the project Winter Cometh. This is from Summer House Stitchworks. I just love this pattern. It only has 3 colors in it. And here is my start. So I will probably not get back to this for a little while. This will be more of a winter stitch. Right now I'm into Christmas stitching, so this might come later when I'm winding down with the Christmas stitching and pulling out my winter stitching. So that fabric, I'll tell you the fabrics if I know them. This fabric is Platinum Newcastle 40 count, and I am using a conversion of Classic Colorworks Belle Soie colors. So this one is Attic Tea. This one is Babbling Brook, and we have Indigo. So I think those mimic the colors in the pattern pretty well. Very well. So that was Winter Cometh. And I'm going to put all these things back in the bags, because if I don't put things back in the bags, I will get everything disorganized and then I will be very unhappy. So bear with me. Lots of zipping and unzipping and all the things. This was another Painted Leaf Co. bag from a few years ago. One of her vinyl front bags. this is from the Blue Flower, and this is called Tudor Ermine. And here is my start. I believe this is on a 32 count. Not sure what the color is. And it looks to me like I'm using all of the called for DMCs. So really this will be, so here's the picture again. This wouldn't take me too long if I just sat down and worked on it. So I need to pull that back out. I love how Janine McGowan, the designer of all the Blue Flower designs, I just love all of her animals that she designs. And an ermine. I always thought it was ermine, but I was watching a TV show and they were calling it an ermine. So hopefully I'm saying it right. I could not be, who knows? Okay, this was in a bag I got from Joyful Stitching. This is a pattern from Heartstring Samplery called Winter Comes. And you can see that they have it in 2 colorways here and in 2 different designs. This one up here has a verse, and this one down here just has, you know, the house and the border. So I'm stitching the bottom design, the smaller design, but I'm stitching it on the darker fabric. So I don't have much of a start on this one, but I am stitching this on Picture This Plus Dusk in 36 count. And that's my little start. Nothing too impressive yet. So I think I changed a couple of the colors. The colors in this, it calls for Weeks Dye Works colors, and I pulled out some different colors. So I did some color and cotton. So like, here are the colors I chose. This one is Color and Cotton, Good Cheer. I did Color and Cotton, Jolly Suit. Color and Cotton, Snowflake. This is Fiberlicious Dreamscape. I did a Gentle Arts Green with Envy. I did Gentle Arts Soot. And then I think the rest of these are called for Weeks Dye Works. So Weeks Dye Works Amber, Weeks Dye Works Havana, and Weeks Dye Works Molasses. So apparently I did a little bit of a color conversion there. I don't know if I just didn't have the other colors or I just wanted to get a little creative. Who knows? Who knows? But I like the colors I picked out, and I do want to get back to that one. So there's that. Okay, this is in a Tiger Lily Project Keeper. And I have a couple different projects in here. The first one I have is from Shakespeare's Peddler. It's Jenny Bean's Christmas Sampler. I just think that's adorable. I don't have much of a start though, unfortunately, so I need to pull this one back out. That's all I've got. I always start from the top left corner. So that's basically all I've got. I'm stitching this on 40 count Tyco from Picture This Plus. And it looks that I'm using all of the called for colors. All right, the next thing I'm stitching is the Noel Sampler by Brenda Gervais. I just love this one. I definitely want to get back to this. This is a little bit of an older sampler. This is from 2013. And I'm also stitching this on Picture This Plus Tyco in 40 count. Sorry, all these have wrinkles. I did not iron anything before I filmed. So bear with me. This is, that's what I have right there. So I have a pretty decent start on that one. And I'm using all the called for colors for that one as well. I just think that's so pretty. I cannot wait to pull that one back out and work on it. I just think that's gorgeous. Very classic Christmas. Sorry, I'm just trying to see how this was folded. So I'm anxious to get back to that one. So that was the Noel Sampler by Brenda Gervais. Okay. Let's see, what have I got next here? This is in a bag from Big Stitch Bags. And I've got 2 projects in here. These were releases from Brenda Gervais last year. Apparently, I love me some Brenda Gervais. So, the first one is kitted up but not started. Where did it go? Rudolph and Friends. Very cute. I want to get that one started soon. This one is called Santa Stops Here. And I did start that one last year. Let me see if I have, let me see if I have a note in here that tells me what fabric it is. I do not. So, I know it's probably a 40 count. And I'm holding it upside down. Here we go. That's all I got done. I started on that house. There's a lot of different colors in the bricks there. So I think that might have gotten a little tedious. I need to probably move on to some other part where there's some colors so I can get my momentum back on that one. I've just been working on that candy house. So I need to pull that one back out. Apparently I am terrible about taking notes on which fabric I'm using. Oh, you know, we all have our talents. That's just not one of mine. Okay. Moving right along. Oh, this is a new start. I just started. This is from the new Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine. Just got mine in the mail the other day. I have the print and digital subscription, so I was able to print this off of the computer. It is called Merry Little Christmas. It is by Teresa Vanette of Shakespeare's Peddler, and I just think that little pillow is adorable. I just love the colors, the muted color palette. I couldn't pass it up. So I just have a small start. I'm using all the called for colors for this one. And this is Fox and Rabbit Saltbush fabric in 46 count. Apparently I was in the middle of stitching because my needle's still in it. So I just did the top border. Can't really see the top border here because it's kind of up here. I just did the top border and I have a very teeny tiny start on the letter H in the word have. So that's all I've gotten so far. I just started this the other day. So I need to pull that back out and work on it some more. But as soon as I saw the magazine, I actually saw it online first before I actually got my physical copy of the magazine, and I had to go ahead and just print it out and get it up so I could get started. And this is in, excuse me, this is in a project bag from Painted Leaf Co. a couple of years ago, I believe, the Nutcracker fabric. I love this. It was one of her vinyl front bags. Very cute. You know I love the Nutcracker. I had to have that. Okay. This project bag is from a shop on Etsy called Mila's Sweet Makes. And here's the, I don't know if she has anything in her shop, but that's where I got it from. And inside here I have this design I started stitching called Oh Dear. This is from the Fat Quarter shop. And I actually found this on the freebie table when I was at Chantel's retreat in Michigan recently. So I just love it. It's like classic Rudolph to me. And so here we go. That's my start. It's going to be a lot of dense stitching. I mean, look at all of that brown. But that's what I've got so far. I'm stitching it on this opalescent fabric. What fabric is this? This is Under the Sea Winterbrook 36 count opal linen. Very pretty. Now, I'm going to have more than enough of this. So I decided also I'm going to stitch something else on this. I just got in the mail my Life is Just a Bowl of Cross Stitch December. I'm in the club, And every month you get the kit to make these little pillows, and you get all the things to put into your dough bowl. And so I decided I wanted to stitch these on this fabric as well. So I think that'll be adorable. I pulled the colors for that. I think these are the right ones. I have the colors for Rudolph in there too. So, but I think this will just look really, really cute on this fabric. So, very cute. So I have those things kitted up in there. I love that opalescent. I don't stitch on opalescent fabric very often, so when I do, it's kind of a treat. It's fun. Okay. Next, I have, this was a bag I got at Chantel's retreat from my friend Michelle from Michelle Lee Quilts. I just got to stitch with her yesterday. Hi, Michelle. Love this bag. And this, so I saw my friend Allison, AllieCat13 on Instagram. She had stitched this. This was actually a freebie from the Fat Quarter Shop, and she had stitched it and made like a quilted pillow out of the design. So I thought it was just a really cute, classic Christmas design. So I've kitted it up, but I haven't started it yet. So this is, the fabric is Milk Chocolate from X2 Design. And I'm using all the called for. So it calls for classic colorworks. So I had all the classic colorworks. I pulled them, and that's my kit there. Haven't started it. Hopefully will soon. But I just had to stitch that. I'm loving like classic Christmas designs, you know. I love all Christmas. I don't know who I'm fooling. Nobody. Okay, that's not a Christmas one. Okay, so this is fun. So this is a Painted Leaf Co. bag from a few years ago. This is a stitch along from Lola Crow cross stitch. Ugh. And she's doing an ornament stitch along. So she's designed 6 mystery ornaments, and they come out every Friday. So far, I've only printed 1 out. There's been 2 that's come out so far. And the ornament theme is Creepy Christmas Village. So it's all about a Victorian, creepy, like ghosts type of Christmas stitch. And so the first ornament was the Creepy Carolers. There they are. And so, not really my Christmas vibe, but I thought it looked fun. So why not? Why not? The called for fabric for this was Fox and Rabbit Elephant Run, 36 count. So I went ahead and just ordered the called for fabric. And I just have a very small start. I outlined the carolers, and I started outlining the snow down there, and that's about it. So I'm using all the called for DMCs, and I just thought it would be fun. A fun stitch. The ghosts, of course, make me think of A Christmas Carol, you know, the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. And it just looked fun to me. I like ghosts in my life. Not real ones. Stitched ones. Okay. All right. In this next bag, I've got this big project bag from Brass Button. That's where it's from. And in here, I have kitted up a bunch of ornaments that I want to stitch. And so in here is where I was keeping the Welcome to the North Pole. I am going to keep this in here along with the floss, because next I want to stitch this snowman and the wagon with the snowballs in it. So I'm going to keep that in here. Oh, there's my card. So I'm going to use the same fabric that I used for the Santa. I don't remember where I put it now. For the Santa and Mrs. Claus. So this is 40 count Fox and Rabbit River Gum. And just gonna keep using the same colors I was using. It's all the called for DMCs. The pattern does call for like classic color works and Weeks Dye Works, but I just went ahead and pulled all the DMCs because I had them in my stash. So I got that in there. Also, last year I attended the Jingle Ball, and I ordered the Jingle Ball baubles I should have ordered the booklet. Instead, I ordered the PDF and I printed them off. I should have just ordered the booklet because now I got all these pages in here. But I want to stitch this one from Hands On Design. It's actually available now. This was an exclusive last year, but this is from Hands On Design called Père Noël. And I'm stitching it. I'm going to stitch it. I haven't started it. I'm going to stitch it on the called for fabric. It's in here somewhere. The called for fabric is slate, 32 count slate fabrics by Stephanie. So I already cut a piece of that. It's ready to go. I also threw in here a Satsuma Street ornament that you stitch on perforated paper. I've had this kit for a couple of years. Jody Rice, the designer of Satsuma Street, is doing a free class on the Jingle Ball. And so I thought maybe I should start one of these so I can do the finishing with her. So I've got that in there. Let's see what else I have. This was an exclusive that we got at Chantel's 141 design retreat. This was from Kathy Haberman, Hands On Design, called Very Merry. I've got the teeniest, tiniest start on this. Also stitching this on the 32 count slate by Fabrics by Stephanie. Very small start. Just using the called for DMC. My DMCs are a mess. So very tiny start on that. Next I have, sorry, I've got a lot of things in one bag here. Next I have, so I have my 2023 Just Keep Stitching, Just Cross Stitch. Just Keep Stitching is a floss tube. And I'm going to stitch this little owl here. So I'm also going to stitch that on the slate fabric from Fabrics by Stephanie. Okay, what else do I have in this bag? I got a lot of things in this bag. Apparently I am going to stitch all of the things. In this bag, I also have now I've got like bags in bags of stuff here. This is getting silly. So I have the Wee Santa 2022. That was last year's Wee Santa. I haven't started him either, but I have this fabric pulled. I think this is Latte Fiber on a Whim. And pretty sure this is just the called for DMCs. So I've got that kitted up. I have these Lizzie Kates kitted up here. The Tiny Tidings XXII, I guess that's 22. I think those are so cute. Apparently I was thinking of doing them all on this green fabric. This is Jody fabric, Steel City Stitchers, and I just pulled all the called for DMCs, so I guess I was feeling green. That might be cute. I might change my mind, we'll see. But that's what I've got kitted up here. And I also have in this bag my Best Time of the Year Brenda Gervais Jolly Christmas. And I have pulled some Rustic Drab by XJU Design. And I think these are all just the called for. No, there's some Weeks Dye Works in here. So I've got the called for DMCs and Weeks Dye Works for this. So, yep. Lots of things kitted up in here. Lots of ornaments. Well, this isn't an ornament, clearly. I don't know why this is in here, if this is my ornament bag. But lots of ornaments kitted up, ready to go, ready to stitch. We'll see how many of those I get to this year. Okay, I'm just going to set that aside for now. All right, a few more here. I've got a lot. Apparently I love Christmas stitching. This is not a Christmas bag because I ran out of Christmas bags, but this was a recent Painted Leaf Co. bag from my mom. And in here, I have kitted up. This is a freebie from Hands On Design called Berries in Bloom. And I actually wanted to kit this up because my friend Sarah, Handmade by Sarah W., she's on Flosstube and Instagram. She and her sister are hosting a stitch along. I believe the hashtag is Stitchy Sister Sal. I will have to look that up and be sure and post it down below. But she and her sister are hosting a stitch along of that. And so I pulled this fabric here. This fabric is, let me see, Extra Design Old Blue. I know they have a color called Old Blue Jeans. Maybe it's supposed to be Old Blue Jeans and I just didn't write the whole title. I don't know. But those are the colors and I think that's going to be adorable. And I just think that's such a cute stitch. So I'm looking forward to stitching that with Sarah and her sister. That'll be fun. I don't remember when they're starting. I guess it doesn't really matter. You can start whenever you want, right? So maybe I'll pull that out to start soon. I'm going to have to be looking for some things I can stitch in the car on our way to New Jersey because we drive. And I'll need some maybe smaller things to stitch on the way because Daisy sits in my lap while we drive. So I have to stitch with the dog in my lap, which is what I do on the couch anyway. So what's the difference? Okay, the next I have this beautiful stitch case from Chris Sherman at Winding Rainbows. And inside here I have the Polar Plunge series. So that one that I did before, that whale hello there, that was one of them. They also have the Puffin Party and Wally the Walrus, Penguin Pair, and Polar Bear Peak. There is a narwhal one called N is for Narwhal that you would have to purchase separately because all of the proceeds go to support the Special Olympics. Kathy and her husband Bill are affiliated with the Special Olympics. Their son is an athlete for the Special Olympics. I know they coach for the Special Olympics, and so that is a cause that's very near and dear to their heart. And so I need to get over and order that pattern to round out my Polar Plunge series. So I have it all kitted up, ready to stitch the rest of these when I get around to those. So in here, I also have another hands-on design. This is a newer pattern called A Classic Christmas. I just think that's so pretty. I've seen so many people stitching this. I think Sarah W. is stitching this. I have pulled, this is one of my go-to fabrics. I've pulled some Rustic Drab from Extra Design. I just think that's a really nice neutral. And I have pulled all of the called for DMCs. And I think that's just going to be so pretty. So I need to get that started too. A lot of kits, a lot of things kitted up over here. Things I need to stitch. Okay. All right, let's see what else I have. This is another Painted Leaf Co. bag from a couple of years ago. I love those penguins. Another vinyl front bag. In here, I have a teeny tiny start of Christmas Mini Moon by Plum Street Samplers. And here is my little start. I'm stitching this on 46 count Saltbush from Fox and Rabbit. There we go. So that's my start. I want to get back to that. That is such a pretty pattern. I love Plum Street Samplers. And so that is just one that I definitely want to get back to soon. Okay. Let's see what's next. This was a bag that I got from evertote.com. And in here I have, this is another teeny tiny start. I also ordered the pattern from evertote.com. This was a Modern Folk Embroidery Evertote and Roxy Floss Co. collaboration, I should say, called the Moonshine Cabin. So this is more of like a wintry stitch. I just think that's so pretty. I love all of the, what is that, trees and the leaves and the moon. So I have just the teeniest, tiniest start on this. This fabric I did get the pattern and the fabric and the floss all from Evertote. So this is their fabric that they dye called Night Owl, and it's a 40 count, and almost embarrassed to show this to you, but that's all I have done. I started on the peak of the cabin's roof there, and that's all I've gotten. So I really need to get back to that one because I think that's so pretty. I bought all of the Roxy Flosco. It used to be Leo and Roxy, but now it's just Roxy Flosco. And there's the colors, the called for colors. That red is just so pretty. It's not really showing up. Anyway. So the Moonshine Cabin. Okay. We're getting there, folks. Apparently, I'm thinking that I'm going to stitch a lot of things this year. Okay. Oh, I don't know who the designer of this bag is, but look how pretty. There's no tag. I'm thinking maybe, oh, I don't want to guess. Anyway, I don't know who made it, but it's adorable. So maybe that was a Michelle Lee Quilts, possibly. This is, I believe this was from last year, Brenda Gervais, Joy and Good Cheer. And I did start this one. This is also on 40 count. Picture This plus Tyco. Apparently I was really loving the Tyco last year. And this is all I've gotten done. So, got a lot of starts last year. Just didn't make a whole lot of progress, I guess. Such is life. All right, this one. Another Painted Leaf Co bag. And of course, you got to have the Nutcracker fabric. My mom knows I love the Nutcracker. So whenever she finds a good Nutcracker fabric, she is happy to make me a project bag. Not just for me. She sells them too. Okay, so this is a new start for me. This is from the book, the Blackbird Design Book, Home for the Holidays. It's not a new start. It's a kit. Excuse me. It will be a new start when I start it. I am going to stitch 'Tis the Season. And let me try to show you the pattern without showing, or show the picture without showing the pattern. That is what I'm going to stitch. I've seen so many people stitch this and it's amazing. So I want to stitch it too. I decided that I want to stitch mine on this fabric from Needle Bling called Spellbound. It's 40 counts. I didn't want to do a neutral. I wanted to do like a bluish. And it looks like I'm using the called for DMCs, and there's some classic color works and Gentle Arts, but maybe they're called for. Maybe I might have pulled some different colors. I'd have to look at the color palette to know if I actually am going with the called for or if I change those. But because it looks like I might have darkened them up a little bit. So those might not be the called for. So I want to get that started this year. Oh, this is another teeny tiny start. This is not a Christmas bag, but this came from Painted Leaf Co. Wasn't this the Blackbird fabric from a couple years ago or a year ago? Not sure. Winter Rose Manor. And here's the pattern. I'm sure you've seen this before. So many people have stitched this up. It is beautiful. I think it's a companion piece to the, sorry, I've lost my train of thought. I think it's a companion piece to the new design from Brenda Gervais called The Light of Winter. And very tiny start on this one too. Just a teensy tiny bit of that border. I think I need to like make it a goal to like really put some time into these things that I've already started, maybe before I start more things. That might be something I do. Oops, I forgot to put the pattern back in there. I don't want to do that, or I'll have a heck of a mess here when I'm done. You should see the mess that I have after filming. Oh, just making sure I've got everything here. I felt like I was missing some stuff. Okay, this is another kit not started. This was a project bag from Painted Leaf Co. last year. I love leopard print, so there's that bag. And inside here, I have kitted up the Jingle Bell Sleigh Ride Co. from Cherry Hill Stitchery. I wanted to stitch this because Nicole Spohr stitched it, and she did such a pretty job, so I wanted to copy. Sorry about the light coming in from the window. It's kind of causing a shadow on my face. This is going to be stitched on 32 count Fabrics by Stephanie Milk Chocolate. And I'm just using all the called for DMCs on that, so I think that'll be really pretty. All the browns, and you got a red in there somewhere. There it is. So, gonna start that at some point, maybe. I've got a lot of things kitted up. Here's another Painted Leaf Co. bag from a couple years ago. These poinsettias. In here, I have kitted up a Lizzie Kate, The Elves Did It from 2017. I just have it kitted up with some rustic drab and the called for DMCs. I also have in here a Prairie Schooler Santa. This is the 2023 Santa. I've never stitched a Prairie Schooler Santa. Shame on me. This was just a fabric scrap I had in my stash. I think these are the colors for this one. It seems odd that there's like a pink in there. This might not be the right colors. Not sure. That's why you shouldn't have more than one project in a bag. Sometimes I just add more than one project to these bags because I don't have enough Christmas bags. Okay, I bought this last year when I was at Stitch Away, at the Stitch Away retreat hosted by Keepsakes. And this is by Ardith Design. It is called Winter Cardinal Sampler. I just think that is stunning. Now, some people did not like the fabric it was stitched on. They thought it was a little, the green was a little putrid looking, but I liked it. I liked it. Although I don't know if I like this fabric. Hold on, let me pull out. So I got the wool threads, the thread pack. This is Wonderfill Alana merino wool and acrylic thread. So I got the called for. And then this is the called for fabric. But this stuff is stiff. You could hurt somebody with this. So I might find different fabric because I don't like this. I like the color. I think that'll look really cool. But this stuff is, I'm like fanning myself with it. It's stiff. I don't like it. So that one might need another look as far as fabric goes. Need a different fabric for that one. Okay, put these back in here. All right. This is making me realize just how many things I have kitted up that I'm probably not going to start because I got to focus on things I haven't stitched yet, so that I have started, but I need to work on. So this is another Nutcracker bag. This one is from the Brass Button. This is also a kit. I haven't started it. This is a pattern from Twin Peak Primitives called the Nutcracker. Are you noticing a theme here, people? I saw this model hanging at Keepsakes and I had to have it. Although I don't think I'm going to stitch the whole thing. I think what I want to stitch is just these. I'll probably stitch the Nutcracker, and I want to stitch the Mouse King and the Nutcracker, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Maybe some of these other things as like separate motifs for ornaments, but definitely the Nutcracker and the Rat King having their little duel there. So I have pulled this fabric and all the called for flosses. Looks like there's some color and cotton, classic color works, weak dye works in here, and some DMC colors. And I'm gonna stitch this on 46 count needle and flax Thornfield. So I think that'll look really cute. That's definitely one that I would like to get started this year. Some of those other ones that I'm pulling out can probably wait. Okay, this is in another case from Chris Sherman, Winding Rainbows. Don't look too close. It's covered with dog hair. As is everything in my house, pretty much. So, fun fact that you probably didn't want to know about me. Okay, this is Plum Street Samplers Home for Christmas. I think this was a release last year. No, 2019. I started it last year and did not get very far on it. I literally just started the border and that's all I got. Oh, bless me. Oh, first time sneezing on camera. I have a really horrible habit of sneezing several times in a row, so fingers crossed this is not one of those times. Because then I'll have to pause the video. I don't want to do that. Okay, this is another Plum Street Samplers called Cardinal Kin. I think, yeah, this one was last year. This is a 2022. What is up with these tiny starts? What was I doing last year? If I could go back and talk to 2022 Sarah, I would say, can you just start a couple things and work on those? Because this is sad. This is sad. What is wrong with me? So many things. So many things. Okay. This is something I just started a couple days ago. And I've got more progress than last year, so I'm doing better than last year me. This is a new design from Lindy Stitches called Peppermint Candy. This was actually one of her releases last year at the Jingle Ball. I didn't buy it then, so I'm glad she released it now because I just think that's adorable. I love this rabbit wearing a sweater. And the deer and the bird. The only thing I don't like is that goose. I hate Canadian geese. We have several that like to hang out at a pond nearby. And every time they see me, they hiss at me and try to intimidate me. And I don't like them. But it's winter almost, and so they're flying away for the winter. Anyway, this is on, what is this fabric before I show you? This is on XQ Design 40 count brick powder. And that's my start. I think it's so cute. Those little motifs just stitch up super fast. That color is not really coming through. Maybe if I bring it back here. There we go. That color looks better back here. Once I bring it forward, it washes out. But back here, you can see the true color. So I think that's going to be so cute. It's really fun to stitch. I'm trying to think of something I could put there instead of that goose. We'll see. But I bought the thread pack from Lindy Stitches on her website. So it calls for a week's dye works, calls for a couple of classic color works, and it calls for 4 different Forbidden Fiber Co. flosses, and then just a white and a black from DMC. So I'm enjoying stitching on that. I was stitching on that last night. Okay. I'm going to get up and shut the blinds. Do you guys mind? You don't mind if I stand up for a second and shut the blinds? I'll be right back. I don't like to pause because then I have to edit the video, so I'll be right back. Okay. We'll see if that's any better. Yeah, I think so. I think that's better. Okay, this is in a case made by me from using Carrie Tiger Lily's pattern for her mini project keepers. And in here, I've got some fun projects. So I've got a kitted project and I have a started project. And I have a finished project. Craziness. Craziness. All right, so the first thing is Snow Magical by Brenda Gervais. This is a new release. And also, I bought the finishing board So the snow globe finishing board, I bought that from Chantel's 141 Design Company. And Nicole Spohr is doing a SAL, and I believe it starts on November 29th. So it's starting soon. So I haven't started this yet. I am going to use 40 count parchment from Weeks Dye Works. And when you purchase the kit from Chantel, I don't know if she still has any more or not, but when you purchase the kit from her, you get the pattern, you get the snow globe finishing board, and you also get this really fun floss dial, snowflake floss dial, and I put all of the called for floss on here. So I just think that's going to be so fun. I love Chantel's floss dials. Just a fun way to keep your floss handy. So I'm looking forward to starting that one. The next project that I have in here is also a new release from Brenda Gervais. It is called, let me find the picture. Goodness, where did it go? Oh, there it is. It is called Reindeer Games. And it comes with these 3 patterns for these adorable reindeer ornaments. And it also came with the wooden ornament pieces. So I'm going to be finishing it just like that. And I finished one of them. So I started this one on Friday night and I finished it yesterday. We had a stitch day, Allison and me and our friend Michelle of Michelle Lee Quilts and our beautiful friend Holly. And I was able to just bang this out yesterday. It's looking a little washed out. This is on 40 count milk chocolate from X2 Design. And so I finished that yesterday. I just love animals and sweaters, so I had to start with this guy. And then today I started another one. And this, I'm stitching, I started this one down here. So the 2 reindeers with the gifts on their back and then this little urn of peppermints. So that's my new start. And I'd like to get them all 3 stitched and finished. And it didn't take long at all. I know Allison has already finished 2 of them and she's just banging them out. She's doing great. Trying to find where I put the floss here. Sorry, here it is. I don't want to lose anything. Okay. 2 more bags, friends. 2 more bags. Goodness gracious. Okay, this was a bag that I got from So Much to Love. I used to be in their Bag of the Month Club. And in here, I have a series of patterns from Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. So it is the Houses on Peppermint Lane series. So there's 9 houses. And I started this one last year, the Cranberry House. I also have the pattern for Christmas House. So I would like to eventually get all of the houses and stitch them all because I think they're adorable. But I started the Cranberry House last year. And let's see, what am I stitching this on? This is 40 count Weatherstone by Atomic Ranch. And that's my start. I think it's beautiful. I definitely want to pull this one back out and work on it soon. But that's my start. And let's see. And it looks like I'm using all the called for Weeks Dye Works. So very pretty color palette. And last but not least, because I'm really excited about this one. Let's zip this up. This is in a new bag that I just got from Painted Leaf Co. with the Teresa Kogut reindeer fabric. Very pretty. And inside I have this chart, The Light of Winter. This is also a new release from Brenda Gervais. I've seen so many people starting this. And I couldn't resist. So apparently that's the one that is probably a companion piece to Winter Rose Manor. I'm stitching this on 40 count Bria from Needle and Flax. And that is my start. I'm just starting. Again, I always start in the top left corner. So I've just started on that border. And I think that border is just beautiful. I love all the detail. It's not an easy border to stitch. You definitely have to pay attention, but I just love the colors. I love the flowers. I love the vines and the leaves. I think the border is just gorgeous. So I'm enjoying stitching it. I would like to start making my way into some of the motifs. I think from here, this is where I'm at right here. I think I can move over to the angels, maybe down to these trees, because I would like to break it up a little bit and maybe do a little border, do a little motif, do a border, do a motif, to just try to break up the monotony a little bit. So that's where I'm at with that. And that was my final Christmas whip. So that was actually really helpful to me to pull all of those things out and take a look at them. I'm thinking maybe of unkitting a few things because I have so many things that I've already started that I don't want to start too many more things. I would really like to see some work on, some progress on some of those things I started last year that apparently I worked maybe a day on and never touched again. So I'm thinking maybe a few of the things that I kitted up to show you. Not that I'll never stitch them, but maybe just being able to put that floss back into my stash so it could be used in the meantime. And then I could always kit it up again at a later time. But I think it was just really fun to go through and look at all those things, to touch all of the things, and to kind of start thinking in my mind of where I really want to go with my Christmas stitching this year. Because let's face it, I've got like a month. So obviously I'm not going to get all of those things stitched. So maybe just like think of like what I really want to focus on, and make a plan to get a few things finished and get some progress on a few things. So that's what I'll be doing next. I'll be going through all the things I just showed you and figuring out what's going to be my priority this year. So if you have any thoughts, if you have any opinions about what you think I should focus on, what you think I should unkit and put away for later, I would love to hear your thoughts, because I need to pare this down a little bit. It was fun to look at all of it, but not very realistic as far as like being able to get some stuff done. So I'll be doing some thinking here and making some plans. So anyway, I'm going to say goodbye for now. I hope you are all having a fantastic, I was going to say weekend, but the weekend's almost over. By the time you see this, it might be the week. So weekend, week, holiday. If you live in the United States, I hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving. If you're traveling, I hope you have safe travels and that you have a wonderful time with family or friends or whoever you're spending the holiday with. And I'll be seeing you soon. Make sure you take a moment to subscribe below if you haven't already. We always appreciate our subscribers so much. And leave a comment, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Okay, guys, bye.